President Sisi meets with Rosatom Director General in El Alamein. Egypt's Ministry of Health announces recovering 4 bodies from the fire at the Ramses Central Exchange in downtown Cairo. And Egypt's central bank temporarily doubles the daily cash withdrawal limit from bank branches to 500,000 Egyptian pounds. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has met with Rosatom Director General Alexei Lekhachev in El Alamein. The meeting, attended by key Russian and Egyptian officials, focused on advancing the Dab'an nuclear power plant project. Discussions covered the signing of a supplementary intergovernmental agreement and related contracts for the plant's construction, design, procurement and physical protection systems, underscoring continued cooperation on this civilian nuclear energy initiative. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati and High Representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Kaja Kallas, have discussed regional developments during their phone call. Abdelati updated Kallas on Gaza ceasefire negotiations and detainee release, emphasizing the need for sustained aid. Kallas reiterated the EU's concern for Gaza's humanitarian crisis. They also discussed stabilizing the Israel-Iran ceasefire and resuming Iranian nuclear talks, with a focus on the E3 group's role in de-escalation. Egypt's Grand Mufti Nazir Mohammed Ayad has denounced the recent storming of Al-Aqsa compound by extremist Israeli settlers under heavy occupation force protection. In a strong statement, he condemned these acts as part of a systematic Israeli policy aimed at discrediting Islamic sites and violating international law. He stressed the incursions are deliberate steps in a broader colonization plan targeting the sacred site revered by over 2 billion Muslims. The Grand Mufti reaffirmed that Al-Aqsa is an indivisible Islamic right, warning that any intrusion violates fundamental religious principles and Islamic consensus. He urged the international community, human rights groups, and free nations to take swift, effective measures to stop Israel's ongoing violations and protect holy sites. WHO Egypt and the Ministry of Health launched vector control field epidemiology training program supported by the Pandemic Fund. The 6-month program trains 32 participants, mainly agricultural engineers from human and animal sectors, through a mix of classroom modules and extensive field work across governorates. Using a One Health approach, the training fosters collaboration across human, animal, and environmental health fields. Since 1993, Egypt's FETP has graduated 385 epidemiologists, providing competency-based mentor training at basic to advanced levels. Egypt's Ministry of Health and Population has announced that 4 bodies were recovered from a fire at the Ramses Central Exchange in downtown Cairo last night. This comes as Health Minister Khaled Abdel Ghaffar is monitoring the incident, with 27 injured individuals have been discharged from hospitals after receiving the necessary medical care, with the remaining 5 patients reported to be in stable condition. Data center injured people primarily from smoke inhalation and caused widespread communication disruptions phone calls, internet services, and some digital banking operations were significantly impacted, with national connectivity dropping to 62%. Authorities believe an electrical short circuit caused the blaze, which was contained before spreading. Services were expected to gradually resume after power was cut as a safety measure. The heads of Egypt's Central Agency for Organization and Administration and the National Food Safety Authority have met to boost cooperation and food safety. Their discussion centered on enhancing the human resources of the NFSA through strategic planning and skilled personnel, aiming to strengthen Egypt's food safety system and safeguard public health. This collaboration aligns with the government's broader administrative reform and capacity building initiatives. Egypt's parliament has approved a law introducing the baccalaureate system as an optional alternative to the current high school track. Minister of Parliamentary, Legal Affairs and Political Communication Mahmoud Fawzi confirmed free education remains guaranteed, and the new system aligns with international standards without replacing the existing one. The first exams under the baccalaureate will be free to ensure equal opportunity. Minister of Education and Technical Education Muhammad Abdul Latif called the reform a major step to ease family burdens and prepare students for today's economy, offering new pathways to university and the job market. CIB Egypt has signed a 963 million Egyptian pound financing deal with OSL, a subsidiary of Orascom Investment Holding, to upgrade the sound and light show and exhibition areas at the pyramids of Giza and the Sphinx. The project, part of the Giza 2030 vision, will modernize audiovisual systems and infrastructure to create a world-class cultural attraction. The redevelopment also includes improved traffic flow, parking, accessibility, information points, and visitor amenities to enhance the overall experience. Egypt's Minister of State for Military Production, Mohammed Salahuddin Mustafa, has affirmed the ministry's push for digital transformation during an inspection of Toya Technology, a military-linked IT firm. Toya manages key systems like food subsidies, health insurance, and network integration for government agencies. The minister praised Toya's cybersecurity defenses and urged staff to adopt advanced technologies and training. Toya also supports major projects including Cairo's prepaid bus ticketing and the Trade Information Center, playing a key role in Egypt's digital modernization. Petroleum Marine Services has secured the contract of Phase 4 of the Qnews offshore gas field development in North Sinai. This project, crucial for Egypt's gas production increase strategy, involves installing 3 new offshore production platforms, Hur, KSE-1, Sinifro, and laying 3 8-inch pipelines to connect them to the existing network and the mobile offshore production unit. PMS's expertise and advanced fleet will accelerate operations, boost Qnews' output, and enhance Egypt's energy security. Investment Minister Hassan Khatib has met with EU Ambassador Angelina Ehrost to enhance economic cooperation. Discussions focused on boosting trade, streaming investment procedures, and supporting Egypt's economic reform. Khatib emphasized Egypt's commitment to WTO rules, highlighting its competitive advantages and strategic partnership with the EU. across lauded agricultural trade progress, signaling a deepening economic collaboration as Egypt aims to become a regional investment hub. Egypt's first Undersecretary for Energy Efficiency and Climate, Ala El-Batal, has met with the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development to bolster cooperation in energy efficiency, emissions reduction, and energy transition. Discussions centered on technical support for methane reduction, carbon capture, and renewable energy expansion in the petroleum sector. Both parties affirmed commitment to continued partnership, including financing for sustainable aviation fuel projects and studies, aligning with Egypt's goal of fostering an attractive investment environment and sustainable development. Petroleum Minister Karim Badawi has affirmed that transforming the Mineral Resources Authority into an economic entity will boost its development capabilities and research, attracting investments by showcasing mining opportunities. This came during Badawi's reception of the members of the Mining Committee of the American Chamber of Commerce, where he highlighted ongoing aerial and seismic surveys to identify Egypt's mineral potential, aiming for a qualitative leap in the sector. Badawi emphasized government support for mining to draw foreign companies and expand value-added industries, noting strong U.S. interest in Egypt's reformed mining landscape. Petroleum Minister Karim Badawi has inspected the Hope Gallan and Enorgus Eskimo floating storage and regasification units at El Ain al-Sokhna's Summit port. These vessels receive regasify and inject liquefied natural gas into the national grid, meeting domestic demand. Badawi commended the dedicated teams for their vital role in ensuring Egypt's energy supply. Egypt's central bank has temporarily doubled the daily cash withdrawal limit from bank branches to 500,000 Egyptian pounds. This measure, effective today, aims to support individuals and businesses amidst recent telecommunications disruptions impacting banking services. The CBE will maintain this increased limit until services fully normalize, demonstrating its commitment to banking sector stability and customer facilitation. The Central Bank of Egypt, CBE, has instructed banks to assist their exporting clients in complying with international sustainability standards, responding to carbon pricing measures like the EU and the UK's Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism known as the CBAM. Banks must submit limits of exporting clients to the CBE to manage the CBAM-related risks and support sector stability. The directive encourages exporters to adapt environmentally compliant practices, boosting their access to global markets and aligning with Egypt's sustainable development goals. Environment Minister Yasmin Fuad has met with British Ambassador Gareth Bailey to enhance green transition cooperation. Discussions included her new role at the UN Convention to combat desertification, linking global environmental agreements and Egypt's participation in the UK's Green Growth Campaign and Green Energy Alliance. They also addressed boosting green investments, ecotourism, integrated waste management, and implementing Egypt's national determined contributions, highlighting strong progress and future collaboration in environmental protection and sustainable development. Egypt Talom and Skatnik have partnered to build a $650 million 1,000 megawatts per hour solar power plant with 200 megawatts battery storage and Naga Hamedi. This 24-month project, fully financed and operated by SCADEC, will supply clean energy to Egypt's aluminum complex, significantly reducing costs and carbon emissions. The initiative underscores Egypt's commitment to renewable energy and sustainable industrial growth, boosting competitiveness and international investor confidence. And this brings us to the end of our news bulletin, and here's what we have been covering. President Sisi meets with Rosatom Director General in El Alamein. Egypt's Ministry of Health announces recovering 4 bodies from the fire at the Ramses Central Exchange in downtown Cairo. And Egypt's central bank temporarily doubles the daily cash withdrawal limit from bank branches to 500,000 Egyptian pounds. And that's all for now. Remember to stay updated by following Qnews for the latest developments. I'm Hala Al-Hamalawi. Thank you so much for joining us.